Hello, you can call them fabulous Christmas gifts, easy to grow, incredible flowers. I like to call them the stop traffic blooms, because if you put an amaryllis when it's in full bloom in your picture window, you will stop traffic on the street in front of you. Amaryllis are so easy to grow. They come from these rather large bulbs, and you can see there are different sizes available. I've got two bulbs here. They're both red lion, which is one of my favorites because the blooms are a very vivid red. There's a mammoth one here. The difference, of course, will be that you'll get more flowers from this bulb because of, obviously, the bigger the bulb, the more flowers you get. But I'm going to plant this one. You'll definitely get flowers from this one this year. And right off the bat, the first thing with amaryllis, make sure you don't put it into a really large pot. You want a pot size that's just barely bigger than the bulb. And I've got one here that doesn't have drainage holes in it. That's okay. I would put a few small pebbles in the bottom, maybe about the bottom inch, just so there's some area for the water to drain into. So I'm going to fill the bottom of this pot with some soil, just enough so that I can nestle the roots down gently there. I need a bit more, and this is another important thing. You don't want to bury your amaryllis too deep. So I've got this pot about half filled with soil. So when I get that in there, I'm going to be able to see about half of the bulb showing above the soil level. So there we go. I'm going to firm it right into the center there, and I'm going to put some soil around the outside. See, they're so easy to do. It's a great project for kids or for grandchildren. And now there are varieties that are ready to bloom within about 4 or 5 weeks after planting. So, you know, if you count back properly from Christmas, you can have these in bloom in time for Christmas. These bigger ones, probably about 6 to 10 weeks before bloom. So there we go. I've just kind of firmed the soil in. Now this soil is moistened already. So I've got about half the bulb showing above the soil level. If the soil was dry, I'd probably give it a drink of water. But it's really important with amaryllis not to let them get wet. They're a bulb, there's moisture stored in that bulb, and as with all bulbs, if the soil is too wet, they'll start to go soft and rot, and you don't want that. So water them sparingly, make sure that the soil is dry to the touch, quite dry to the touch, the top inch, before you water them again. So that one's ready to grow. And I brought this one, so you can even grow them in water, as this one is here growing in this vase. But you can see after about a couple of, maybe a week or so, week and a half, you can see the flower bulb emerging here and the leaves emerging here. And this will continue over the course of a few weeks. Keep the amaryllis in a bright location. As the flower stalk starts to extend, as you can see here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn that stalk, because of course obviously the stalk and the foliage is going to go towards the window and the light source. So every few days you're going to want to turn it so that it stays straight, and in a few weeks you're going to see something amazing. You can see here how this flower stalk is emerging with the bud on the bottom, and it's fabulous to watch these things grow. They grow so quickly, they grow every day. And like I said before, it's a great project for kids and grandchildren. Then the flowers start to emerge. Keep the amaryllis in a cool and bright location. The flowers will last longer. And of course, when you have company coming over, you can bring it out and show it off, and then bring it back into the cool and bright location afterwards. The flowers should last for a few weeks. Once this flower stalk is done, you cut it down to the bottom. You'll get new stalks emerging, and of course the foliage will emerge. After the flower is finished and the plant is done blooming, you treat it like a house plant, fertilize it with some 20-20-20, get these leaves as big as possible, and then next year in the fall you start the whole process over again by putting it into dormancy. So that's how you grow amaryllis, a very easy and fun project to do. Great Christmas gift.